come to its own level, and they never achieve the target there to get the prey from the poultry or duckery. That is the thing. And BCR ratio, with modest BCR ratio, also can be achieved 1.67. So 1 rupee investment will return about 1.67 rupees back to the farmer. Addressing rice fallow is another that we need to follow. And then cluster frontline demonstration on pulses and oil seed. These are two things that through Government of India and Indian Council of Agricultural Research we are doing through KVKs and ICAR institutes. And then the thing also cater the need for protein security through pulses and oilseed import. 1.3 lakh 1.3 lakh crore is the import bill of oilseed that we can address through this particular CFLD oilseed. So these two things are done. Recently, we have done another thing, cotton as second crop for very good cotton yield from the farmer, and through ginning machine that was operating in the, they got a good return and good harvest as well as money back from by connecting with the Khadi and Gramodyog. Then digital agriculture is another thing we have to do through DSS app, drone and automation. Let us see some, this is one thing that we need to do more to reach the farmer to their doorstep, because it is not possible to reach all farmers with say 16 staff of KVK, right from head to tail, from head to all the staff. It is only 16 is the capacity, and then at a time on position maybe 12, 14 or maybe platform that is called Kishan Sharti. And now it is 2.0 is already, that was piloted through Atari Kolkata, and then now it is all the 11 Ataris, now they will be taking up this thing, and 2.0 Kishan Sharti will solve much of the problem and directly delivering to their doorstep. And then app of Kisan Sharti is already in place, and now this is the new one. And then through mobile app, they can get their queries resolved. And there is separate for farmers app and expert app, where farmer can register their queries and expert can resolve their question or their solution they can provide. Then Kisan 2.0. This one is another place where you can get more than 300 agri apps aggregated together in ICR website. This particular place in Kisan 2.0, you will get all these apps where it is related to agriculture, and you can download and use that. Drone is also another one that is being tried, so that we can have we can reach the like spraying when the labor shortage is there, we can address that problem. Then input application is also minimized, and also we can cut the time of application, and on a real time basis a large area can be covered. So that is the best thing for the drone. And then automation side, last year we means 2024, last year. So we had one solar power autonomous weeder from Kuch Bihar KVK, and then non-invasive plant stress detector. This was from the KVK part. They got this design from Patent Office of Government of India. So this type of work is also being carried out now, and these are also required more and more to address the farmers' need. And these are very small and handy, and also solar powered one are very important because they cut the cost of energy requirement also. So climate resilient and sustainable agriculture, this land governance, where every place is having their own land governance. So all states, even in a state, there are territory of different communities where different land governance are invoked. So those land governance, extension and advisory services, local governance and cooperation, finance and market, and monitoring and evolution are all stages If we do this thing, then only the climate proofing of agriculture is possible, and climate smart agriculture we can introduce. And then this carbon sequestration, crop productivity, and climate resilience can be inculcated in our system, and that is required for this Viksit Bharat 2047. Another one is crop diversification and integrated farming system. What we did from our side is one app we have developed and one software through NABARD funded project at Atari Kolkata, and all the 6 agroclimatic region based on farmers' own investment capacity, they can have the particular IFS system selected for their own place based on their investment capacity. Say they have this much of land, they can input, then they intend to invest, say 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees. So, what may be the best integrated farming system suited to their agroclimate, that will be delivered, and that will be selected and delivered to their mobile. So we used artificial neural network in this whole process, and then it was developed, and this particular thing also was conducted. Then another one is homestead agroforestry, 287 units in the floodplain of Purva Mednipur. This was done for designing best model, and out of that, 2 models are projected over here, which got very good coverage and VC ratio. One is fruit plant and then forest species plus vegetable. Another is agroforestry with spices, particularly. These two were found the best, 1 and 2. Millet is another one that can be a crop of diversification for degraded upland, as well as for the climate where drought is very common or drought is frequent visitor. So there, this millet can be grown very well, and then millet nowadays market is also very good, almost if we compare from earlier. Awareness is also very good. So millet can be another choice of crop diversification. And we had millet mela with black cat commandos in West Bengal. And here I'm standing with the main person of this chief of black cat commando, and they organized this one event where their own these wives and these daughters, they participated and they got awarded also from their own, and they did it in their own camp because they don't come out and participate, and we participated. And here actually all these black cat commandos, this is the highest level of commando system in our country. They also are focusing, I mean to say that this is a crop not only by the civilian but commandos of highest level, they are also taking it very seriously. So that much awareness we created nowadays, and this is a crop for diversification. And this is the IFS software that we have registered this software, where model selection is possible for all agroclimatic region of West Bengal. And then I have shown in the first slide this one actually. All this thing is actually, that software is also copyrighted now. And then that 2 autonomous, this automation that I told earlier, those certificates are here. Towards net zero, we also need to move. Net zero means where carbon input and carbon emission is actually equal. But in one particular thing we did in for the first time, and these are the residue actually availability in our country as a whole. This 679 million tons of residue, then 124 million ton available for recycling, because you cannot recycle all the residue. It is having competing use for the fodder, for the thatching, for other purpose. So we have estimated about 124 million ton right now available for recycling. 70 million ton of municipal solid waste, and 10% is now used, but it can be increased. Only 10% is now used. Then another 379 million ton of animal waste is available. Out of that, 119 million ton will be available for use in agriculture. Then composting possibility through FIM, vermicomposting, and enriched compost. Conservation agriculture is another, where retention of residue and is important. Of course, if you only retain residue, it is called uh, mm, uh, nature conserving technology, you can say, or in unit. But if you do three things together, number one is anchoring or incorporating residue, crop diversification, and zero tillage or minimum tillage or reduced tillage. Together, these three things is called conservation agriculture. Another thing is biochar. That is another pathway where soil is acidic, then you can use biochar. But where soil is higher pH, more than 8 or 8.2, then we should not use biochar, because biochar, because if you char anything, char means ashing. If you made ash anything, then its pH is increased. So if the pH is already 8.2 or something, then it will be more alkaline and it will create problem. But for all acid soil, lead lateritic soil, this biochar is very good. So we have to reduce the crop burning, and for that conservation agriculture is very important. And in conservation agriculture, actually what happens, naturally water cycle, carbon cycle, and nitrogen cycle are very smooth. But if you disrupt this particular layer, this is called tillage layer or plough layer. If you disrupt too much, then what will happen? It will this cycle will be very fast, and all carbon will come to the nature. It will come to the environment. And not only carbon, with the carbon, this your all the water and nitrogen will also go out, because CN ratio about 10 is to 1 is maintained, or if you take C and P ratio, then it is about 100, 10, 1. So by that ratio, nitrogen is also lost almost in that ratio. That's why water, carbon, and nitrogen, these are related, and all these are lost. That's why too much tillage is not good, and we need to reduce the tillage. And that is the theme of conservation agriculture. Another one is rapo composting technique. It is possible to convert farm and city waste to rapidly composting. Vermicomposting is another possibility that we can do through uh, vermi worms, and then microbial enriched compost like phosphocompost, phosphor nitro compost, then microbial enriched compost. These are also now possible, and it can substitute at least 25% of fertilizer. Biofertilizer is the third part. As I told, it can be applied to all the places where soil is acidic, and there we can use biochar very well. Carbon registry roadmap is already in place by Government of India, and then this carbon registry, through the opening of carbon registry, we can have the benefit of carbon market also. And that's why what we need to do is more and more monitoring, evaluation, and verification strategy. And that's what we did. And this is the targeted roadmap 2021 COP26. It was announced by Honorable PM that India will target for net zero by 2070. 2022 India, that long term, that declaration was done at next COP, that is COP 27. Then 2050 projected 20% decrease in rented rice yield if we make the business as usual mode. That's why it is important. And 2070 aims to achieve net zero carbon emission. What we did, one thing, we had one MOU with IORF, Inanna Organic Research Foundation, and then this MOU with Atari Kolkata and MORF, we made strategy and then executed, and ultimately through all these strategies and by development of one carbon footprint calculator, that is agriculture carbon footprint calculator, now it is 2.0 version. Through that we measured everything, And ultimately, we also put ourselves to the audit agency, one of the best audit agencies of the world, that is uh, I know Carbon UK, and all these technologies were integrated for that particular part. And ultimately, we could get this Nodia KVK. This was done through Nodia KVK, and it was also published almost all newspaper, media, and also ICR website. And we got this. These are the carbon mitigation and emission portion of different part. And then we got this certificate from I know Carbon UK, that is one of the most respected carbon registry of the world, where we could secure not only net zero but minus 74.992.10 kg, that is minus 74.992 tons of carbon. So that much carbon can be actually negative. That means that much emission one can get the carbon credit through this process. And it is shown this side that which part is actually carbon emission part and which part is actually carbon reduction part, and then or sequestration part, where we got this much of benefit, 74 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. Post-harvest management and value addition, another one that we need to do so that this Viksit Bharat 2047 target is achieved. And here product-based formulation is very important. We need to do three things. Number one is product development. Number two, we have to be assured of get rid of any say salmonella or that type of health problem, and then FSI registration that we have to do. And through this we could get, these are the product from our zone that we could register from our different KVKs. And this is another achievement, that low cost nutritional winning food of malnourished children. This patent was granted in 2025, just last year, October 2025. You can, if you can see closely, this is the date over here, just end of last year. And this particular patent, it can cater the need of hidden hunger of micronutrient through this particular low cost winning food. And it is of course the first patent, full-fledged patent, not design but patent from, to our knowledge, from artery system. This is the first one. Farmer institution and extension system, that has to be strengthened for this Viksit Bharat 2047, and for that we need to energize APOs and APCs particularly. And these are the different APOs and APCs that we are giving backstopping and training, and we need to do this more, because APOs and APCs, when it is there, then aggregation for input purchase, they can have more bargaining power, they can get it in a reduced price, and for marketing, they can again bargain higher price for marketing. So that's why purchasing at a lower rate and marketing at a higher rate is possible through clustering mode of APOs and APCs. That's why we need to do more and more this type of thing. And then skill development through KVKs, along with core objective, as well as particular how to this skill development of even board members of APOs and APCs, that is required, and that we have done. And we need to do more and more this type of thing. And then scientific practices, diversification, post-harvest management, and livestock and fisheries is important. If I can share one thing in short, that through the experience of all 59 KVKs that we are dealing in our zone, we can say for sure that fishery sector nowadays giving maximum BC ratio, at least 10 BC ratio is there, followed by horticulture and followed by animals, livestock, and then comes crop sector. So this is the actually scenario of BC ratio from our zone. And I think as for exchange of ideas, I can tell you for sure that this is also the same BC ratio throughout India we are getting. So that's why we need to plan this type of training also very specifically, and public extension system like KVKs and private extension system through NGOs, agri input farms and startups, they should join together. And then together they can cater the needs, because it is highly unlikely that only KVKs can do all the training, all the capacity building, all the extension services. It is others are also required. So we need to leverage the strength of all the parties that is required. And then only we can have technology transfer, capacity building, and public welfare on a synergistic basis throughout India, and then profit-driven service delivery and market access for all the farmers. Market access, value chain, and agri business, agri entrepreneurship. These are also very, very important. And let me show you some of the success stories, because this is a year of women farmer. I have chosen 3 women farmer particularly for agri entrepreneurship development success stories. One is lag grower. This is Sumitra Mahatoji, who got from Purulia. Is a successful lag grower, and through aggregation and involving many other farmers, she is getting lot of profit out of this lag cultivation, and it is a kind of side business for the woman entrepreneur, and not doing alone but doing with the group. Another woman entrepreneur is from our Hooghly district of West Bengal. This Sonar Modina particular group she is handling, and this particular group, by handling this group, lot of benefit this group is actually getting. This Nursing Laila, she is the leader, and she is leading this group, and they are doing all these agri related activities, including nursery production, vegetable nursery production system. And just by selling vegetable nursery seedling, they are not only helping other farmer to grow vegetable, but also um, green and clean planting material in the district, just supplying in many places and earning lot of profit. Third entrepreneur is from our Ganjam district of Odisha, and this Bisoi madam, she is earning lot of profit, and her particular journey was from a very modest farmer. She started, and now she is earning lot of profit through her entrepreneuring skill. And before ARIA intervention, through ARIA, attracting and returning youth in agriculture, that is one project that was implemented by ICR. And through that project, handholding was done. And now Western mushroom, even other mushroom, she is cultivating and earning lot of profit and getting very good BC ratio. And average income increased from 85,000 rupees to 2,70,000 rupees now. So market access, ONDC is one place where market access is free, and anybody can register and at least showcase their product. So that's what we are trying to do, and we are encouraging all the farmers to showcase their product, and all the groups particularly, and APOs, APCs, and through QR code they can get their product registered and sold through ONDC. And then Amazon, we have a like umbrella MOU with ICR, and anybody can now also register with Amazon, because ICR in the headquarter level we have a umbrella MOU with Amazon, and the one can get. These are the process I have given here, not very complicated. With little knowledge, one can have the registration process, and then one can offer their product in the Amazon. So through this, one can get access of even world market. Policy support, these are important scheme, and all the extension specialists, they need to get this type of scheme with the link available with them, readily available, so that they can pass on to whoever wants to do something. They, for them, right from your fisheries to animal husbandry to agriculture to secondary agriculture like honeybee or say lag cultivation or any secondary agriculture. They can जो द्वितीयक किसी बोलते हैं ना और गौण किसी बोलते हैं द्वितीयक किसी बोलते हैं उसको भी इसका बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं इसमें सिंचाई योजना से बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं तरह तरह जो है मिशन फॉर इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ हॉर्टिकल्चर में बहुत सारे स्कीम है उसके बाद नेशनल बी कीपिंग एंड हनी मिशन से भी बहुत सारे स्कीम ले सकते हैं ये ऑल दिस स्कीम कैन बी एग्रीगेटेड and then PM Kusum is another one that I told earlier also that in agricultural land one can also harvest the solar energy and through PM Kusum farmer can get the benefit of subsidy also. So these are the schemes and these schemes should be supplied to all the farmer all the time and these should be showcased in all KVKs, all extension specialists, all NGOs, all APOs, all APCs, their website, that what are the schemes available, what is the link for their scheme, they can click the link and go to that particular place. Okay. And if you do all these things, then only we can climate proof the agriculture, we can have resilient agriculture, and we can have Dixit Bharat as it is planned. So enabling environment for sustainable and climate resilient agriculture is one through which we can do. Net zero is another. Third one, to achieve the net zero, we have to do lot of that type of conservation agriculture, then manure production and use in field, then biochar in particularly red and lateritic soil, and whatever possible to carbon sequestering carbon in the soil. These are required. And this is one particular in current science, this was published, and these policy metrics can be used to energize the system for climate proofing and climate resilient, bring climate resilient in the agriculture system. If we do this, then all the four arm of ecosystem services, that is provisioning arm of producing food feed fiber, sequestering carbon, nutrient cycling, sequestering carbon is actually controlling arm. Then nutrient cycling is support service. And cutting down fertilizer and encouraging pottery and then art and culture, particularly of tribal people, they can return back to their villages. All these things is possible through particular system of agriculture. Then few things, 2-3 slide more for those who are young and starting their career. Best practices is number one, never stop preparing. Always prepare yourself. Then eventually you can have that feeling of treading the troubled water when it is not known. Enabling environment we have to create by involving everybody. Building competence in your core subject and a flavor for other emerging subject is very, very important. You have to do that on a regular basis. Build relationship, networking is important in these years. And this is really important. And pre-position yourself to take whatever change is required. And that is very, very important. If you do this thing, then your sustainability will be assured and you can climb higher. You learn, apply and improve and you can go to higher level. This is important. All of you, whoever is attending, I am urging you to have a glance on PM Gati Shakti project. This is very good project. It was started with 21 ministries and departments. Now it is 57. 36 ministries and departments again added. So 57 ministries and departments, how seamlessly they are working together to achieve one target. And then all tech-based, like they are using GIS, they are using last mile connectivity, multimodal infrastructure system in place. So this PM Gati Shakti also, if you dig deeper, you will find that Honorable PM is actually the taking the final meeting, and you will be amazed to know not a single meeting except perhaps one little bit deviated for us, but that is a news report is also again may not be that much authentic, but meetings are not more than half an hour. You have to prepare fully well for to appear in that meeting, and within half an hour everything is decided. How to take a meeting, that is a learning also from this PM Gati Shakti particular project. Collaboration is the key. I'm projecting this particular slide just for younger generation. You see, this is one of the best journal, Physics Letter B, and this paper was published, Higgs boson, that is one of the very big discovery in today's world. 3,171 authors. This is a part of that screenshot I have kept here. And this author is actually so many pages. So 3,171 authors in one paper. And we sometimes by 10 authors, we think that very large number of authors. No. Collaboration, real collaboration requires lot of collaboration, and this type of collaboration is required. So collaboration level should be this is the level. And don't be too serious about rejection. Continue your work. Why? This is the letter University of Bern wrote to none other than Einstein, the best scientist considered in the world. His doctoral thesis was he presented, and for a position in the university, and it was written while you posed an interesting theory in your article presented in, this is in German. We feel that your conclusion about the nature of light and the fundamental connection between space and time are somewhat radical. Overall, we find your assumption to be more artistic than actual physics. You consider this last line. Overall, we find your assumption to be more artistic than actual physics. Even without writing this, they could have rejected. But they have written, you are not, such that you are not eligible for the position of associate professor. This is for the associate professor of Einstein. So don't get too serious about rejection. Okay? It is possible. It is possible to overcome any rejection. That you must understand. And this, this Shinkansen train of Japan, it was taken from Kingfisher this big, because there was a sonic boom and that was alleviated by this big. You learn from nature or learn survival from the nature or science from the nature. This survival you can see in place and you can click yourself. There are a lot of this type of picture actually in place in your city or town, you can, or village, you can find this. So don't get upset with the rejection, continue your work, and then we can achieve Viksit Bharat. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you, sir, for the incredibly insightful session. You have sparked a lot of thought in our minds. Dear participants, if you have a question, please feel free to ask and use raise hand features. If you have any question, dear participant, please ask.
I think Adarsh ji has having some question. Then Ravi Yadav ji, there are some raised hand. Please allow them to speak. I think they have need, whether they can open their voice, mic, and
Yes, sir. Participants can switch on their microphone and they can
you
directly
can
ask the
switch on your
question.
microphone and please ask question.
A very good evening, sir. My name is Ravi
Yes.
Yadav. I'm a
Yes, yes.
PhD research scholar in BHU, Varanasi. And my question is, the as we know, the in India, most of the farmer is small and marginal. So the practical implementation of advanced technologies like robotics, drone, and AI and IoTics is possible to the level of farmers. Is this possible?
Now,
And
yes, I got your question. Let me answer the first one, then we'll take the second one. It is possible in a cluster mode. Now, not possible individual farmer, but in a cluster mode or in through APIPCs, it is possible on a hiring basis. Like drone Didi is now common, so it is not possible by purchasing a technology by individual farmer then implement, but on a hiring basis, on a clustering basis, through APS and APCs, it is possible. And next question, please.
Sir, as we know, ENAM portal is launched in
Yes.
2016, but most of the farmer is not able to use that portal also. So, is this matlab feel realistic that these technologies easily adopted by the farmers?
Yeah, there are some issues, of course. I understand your question. There are some issues. Maybe, but perhaps it required some more time or some more handholding. There are some big farmers who are getting benefit through those Agri Stack, Enam, and whatever made. But there are some others who are not. Majority of them are not now. They could not get entered in those process. Maybe we need more handholding. But one thing we can do is perhaps individual farmer wise, if you go in India, it is not possible. So that's what I was telling. It is better to go through cooperatives, through APOs, APCs on a clustering basis, on a even self-help group, if it is bigger self-help group, but better is through APCs and cooperatives. So I would say that they should be uh, means they should be energized. Their handholding should be more strengthened, so that as a group all are getting benefit. So that is possible as on today. So let us hope for a future date when maybe all farmers on board and they will be getting benefit.
Thank you so much, sir.
Another is I think hand raised some of the hands. Mm, Nanda Kumar. You can open your microphone and you raise your question. Whoever is raising hand, one by one, you can raise your question by opening your microphone. Nanda Kumar K. Please open your microphone. Anandji, you open your microphone. You want to have some question, then open your microphone.
Participants, please open your mic if you want to ask any question. You have access to open your mic, so you can open your mic, please.
I think there is
Okay.
very understanding session.
सर आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो सर जीरो एमिशन जो टारगेट है हमारा वो क्या प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल है अचीव करना
देखिए,
कार्बन फुटप्रिंट पे
हाँ ये प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल है कि नहीं. हमने 1 KVK में किया आउट ऑफ 731 KVK थ्रू आउट इंडिया. Only 1 KVK as a case basis we did that in the first KVK in India actually, Nadia KVK. So we got 74.99, say 75 tons or 74 you can say, 75 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, that was negative. So that is from 1 kVK. If some kVKs are a bit positive side, also some kVKs are zero, some kVKs are a bit negative. So overall, we can think that out of 731, there will be some carbon credit we can get, means negative side. So if that is the situation, even before 2070, it is possible. Only thing is, this awareness is required to be spread. And number two, the individual farmer as a group should get some carbon credit trickling. It will not be very big amount. Let me tell you very frankly, it is for individual farmer, it may be 200, 500 rupees, okay. But that particular amount, 500 rupees, if they get just by doing what they are doing and doing something, a little bit of tweaking towards more sustainability, more yield, and then getting some carbon credit and extra some 500 rupees, that will be very good thing for all of the farmer. So if in cluster mode it is done and they get first carbon credit, then it will be triggering throughout India, and we can achieve it even much earlier than 2070. That is the commitment from our side, from India. In COP26, it was committed by Government of India, by none other than by Honorable PM. But I think it is possible by 2050. Why not? If everybody is on board, everybody is convinced that through this system, my soil will be energized for future generation, my productivity can be increased, or at least it can be maintained at this level. At the same time, I can get some amount of carbon credit benefit, whatever I am doing, then they will be very happy to do that actually in their field. And that will have a trickling effect throughout India. That will having a ripple effect, you can say, throughout India.
Any questions, dear participants?
किसी का भी कोई प्रश्न हो तो पूछ सकते हैं, एनीथिंग.
I think all are clear, sir. Thank you, sir, for your patiently answering those queries. Your, your practical advice has truly added immense value to the theoretical framework discussed today. Dear participant, remember to do is just the foundation. That this training is a major milestone for your API CAS documentation and your professional record. A big thank you once again to Mr. Sirendra Pratap Rathore, Dr. Gurpreet Singh, and our coordinator, Ms. Dipti Raj, for making this happen. We look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 6 p.m. sharp from soil to success. Jai Hind.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Dear
you from my
participants,
side
you may
also
leave
to
now.
thank you from my side also to EcoFast Agri Solution, Rathod ji, Gurpreet ji, and all who are behind this
Thank
organizing
you.
this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Pradeep sir, thank you very much. Outstanding lecture.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir. Dear participants, you may leave now.